Hello, this is Tony Tornado, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe with those notifications turned on for all the latest content. What is going on, everybody on YouTube? It's Tony Tornado. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, look at this collection of Mountain Dewnited States bottles! Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the recent videos, you get to see this one now because Tony Tornado, have not only collected all 50 Dewnited State bottles of the original Mountain Dew, but I have also collected the 50 state bottles of the Dewnited States in diet form! And I even got 2 of each 12-pack to go with it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing! I can't believe that Tony Tornado, have been able to do this for such an amazing product that I love almost as much as life itself, Mountain Dew! Oh my God! All my viewers, make sure you subscribe and like the video if you love the Mountain Dew as much as I am, but I hardly doubt it because I love Mountain Dew! I breathe Mountain Dew! I am Mountain Dew! But hey, if you love Mountain Dew even somewhat close to what I do, make sure you subscribe and like this video. So I thought in this video, not only would I display all this stuff for you guys, I wanted to maybe possibly help out the other Mountain Dew lovers and let you guys know how my luck was in my state, Nevada, and I live in Las Vegas, for everyone who's new watching this. And I wanted to go through each state with you guys, not only show you guys the artwork, but show you guys which ones I was able to find most easiest and which states I was not able to find too much of. So let's get right into that stuff right now so I can help you guys. Maybe, again, it depends on what state you live in. I'm sure it's different in every state. But one thing we're going to get off the ground before I start here is, out of both sets, diets and regulars, no question the most common bottle I found was the state of California. State of California was the most common. I saw about 100 to 80 some odd bottles in the regular, probably like 50 to 60 in the diets. So let's get into this shit right now, guys. Tennessee, the regular, I saw, I want to say like 10 regular Tennessees, somewhere around there. Hawaii, probably like 10. It's a decently common bottle for me. Illinois, no, Illinois was a little bit harder. I remember that. Illinois, I want to say I maybe only saw like 5 of these out of all the places I went to look during the set search. Michigan, no, Michigan was pretty hard. I want to say I found maybe like 2 to 3 of these. Like Michigan was not easy to find. Florida, probably the same, like 2 or 3, 2 to 3 bottles, 2 to 3. North Carolina, this one I'm pretty sure I only found like twice, maybe once or twice. New Mexico, it wasn't that hard to find New Mexico. New Mexico's a pretty decently common bottle here. Kentucky, pretty scarce actually, maybe like 5. Yeah, Alaska was maybe like 5 to 10 bottles I found of Alaska before all that went down. Arizona, pretty common. I must have found like 20 of these on my search. 20 Arizonas, I would say. Nevada, believe it or not, and I was talking about that in the last video, I ran across a lot of diets in Nevada, but for regular, I want to say I probably only found like 5. Don't know what that's about. I live in Nevada. Anyway, Maine, I want to say I found like 5 to 10 of these. In the diet form, I only found 1 Maine today, because that's when I found the Maine bottle. It was like 1. It was 1. So 1 Maine, probably like 5 of the regular. Kansas, Kansas was pretty common. I want to say like 10 to 15 for Kansas. Let's see. Indiana. Indiana was another one, like 5, maybe 5 bottles of that. Rhode Island was kind of scarce, actually. I want to say I found like 3 of these bottles. Yeah, probably like 3. Let's see. Louisiana. That was another. This one was like one of the last bottles I found. I'm pretty sure this was like the last 10 bottles I found. Only found 1 of those. Missouri, same thing. It was kind of hard to find a Missouri bottle. Only found 1. Montana, no, Montana was decently common. I want to say somewhere between 5 to 10 bottles I ran across of Montana. Minnesota was hard. Yeah, Minnesota was hard to find. I remember that. Pennsylvania, 5 to 10 bottles I ran across, somewhere around there. Alabama was a very common bottle. I probably ran into 20 to 30 Alabama bottles. Yeah, on my search. Wisconsin, probably 10 to 15. Not hard to find Wisconsin where I live. Maryland was hard. Maryland was actually hard. Maryland, I'm pretty sure, was in the last 10 bottles to find. I only found 1 in the regular form. Arkansas, that was a decently hard one. I think I ran across a couple, 2 or 3, maybe. Connecticut, pretty common bottle. I found about 20 of these in diets and regulars. I ran across a lot of Connecticut. Vermont, no, pretty decently common, like 5 to 10. But in the diet, I found a lot more Vermonts. I did. I found probably like 15, 20 diets. Virginia. Virginia was somewhere between 5 to 10 bottles I ran across the Virginia. Texas, this was a hard one. Texas was definitely hard. Everybody who's looking for these bottles knows this. I ran across, like, I want to say it was either 1 or 2 regular Texas bottles. Yeah, regular Texas was hard. Delaware, that was another one that's kind of like, it was weird. In the regular form, I found maybe 10 Delawares. In the original, I think I found 2. So, or diets, I should say. South Carolina, pretty common. Found about 20 of these. Let's see. Ohio, that was the last bottle I found in the regular set. Believe it or not, it was not Texas. I know a lot of people online have said Texas was hard. Ohio was the last one I found. I only found 1. Ohio. Utah. Probably like 5 to 10 ran across. Idaho. Oh, way common. Probably 20 to 30 for Idaho. And same thing with the diets. There was a ton of Idahos. Tons of Idahos. Massachusetts, that was in the last 10 in the regulars. I want to say maybe like 3 I saw of Massachusetts. Not very many Massachusetts bottles. Iowa, that was my second to last bottle in the regular set. I remember that. Only 1. Only found 1. And Wyoming, that was also in the last like 5 to 10 bottles. Only found 1. These are all the ones I drank because they're empty so far. I love my Mountain Dew. Nebraska, probably 5 to 10. Probably 5 to 10 bottles. California, so common. Like I said earlier, California, the most common bottle. Yes, definitely. Where I live, at least the most common. Georgia, maybe 5. Maybe. Georgia was not very common. Georgia's kind of hard to find. Washington, there was a ton of Washingtons. I want to say 20 to 30 Washingtons. But nothing beats California, man. I must have run across 80 to 100 of those California bottles. Indiana, maybe like 10 to 15. New York was pretty hard too. Yeah, New York, I remember that. New York, I ran across maybe 3. Maybe. And in the diets, I ran across maybe like 1 or 2. I didn't run across many of New York's in both. South Dakota, there was a ton of the Dakotas, both north and south. Probably like 10, 15 each. Oregon, Oregon was pretty common. I want to say like 30 to 40 organs that I ran across. There was a ton of organs. Ton. New Jersey. This was, like I said, this was the last bottle I found in the diet set for some reason. The regular set, New Jersey, it was one of the last bottles as well, like probably in the top 10. Only found one of each in diet and regular. Oklahoma. This was a decently hard bottle. I only found like 2 or 3 of these. 2 or 3 of the Oklahoma bottles. Mississippi Queen. Yeah, Mississippi was decently common. I want to say I ran across probably 15 to 20. Same with the diets. Montana, pretty common. Pretty common in both sets. Pretty common. West Virginia. Now, West Virginia was decently hard. I remember in the regular set, it was probably in the top 10 of last bottles, I wanted to say. I only found a couple, and in the diet set, it was like the second to last bottle I found, and I only found 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Yeah, North Dakota, like I said earlier, the Dakotas were pretty common, probably like 15 to 20 on the Dakotas. And the diets, like I said, the diets were completely different, because for people that don't know, and I think I said this earlier in the videos, the diet sets are actually harder to complete, and there's a number of reasons for that. One reason is if you go up to a Pepsi cooler like in Walmart or something, right, you'll see 6 lines of soda. Well, 4 of those lines are going to be regulars, and 2 of them will be diet. So mathematically, you're already at a disadvantage trying to complete the diets because there's not as many made as regulars. It's clearly obvious that that's the way it is, at least where I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. But we're going to go through these ones. I'll tell you which ones were common, which ones were not. Florida, in diet, was not very common at all. Maybe ran across a couple of these. Not very many. Not very many at all. That is Tennessee. Homeland, the Mountain Dew. I ran across only maybe 2 or 3 Tennessees. Way more common than the regular, that's for sure. That is for damn sure. Hawaii. I ran across a lot of diets, Hawaii's. Believe it or not, a lot. Like probably 30. Probably 30 or so. North Carolina was definitely, it was scarce as it is, but in the diet form, only found 1. Only found 1. Wisconsin, this was a hard one to find in diet. I only found 1 of these as well. Definitely way more common in the regular. Iowa. Iowa was more common in diet than it was in regular. I remember in regular, I only found 1. I found like 6 or 7 diets. Massachusetts, scarce in both. Like I said, maybe like 5 each. Ohio. Ohio is another one. Scarce in both. Only found 1 in diet. One of my last ones, too. One of my last 5 to find. Illinois, pretty common. Pretty common for Illinois. Georgia, still kind of scarce. Maybe like 5. Maybe. Texas, another hard to find one. Texas is hard to find in both. Everyone says they have a hard time finding Texas bottles. Well, I got it in the diet and in the regular. So, New Hampshire, pretty hard to find. Kentucky, pretty common. West Virginia, like I said, this was like the second to last diet bottle I found. I only found 2 of these. Only 2. Maryland. Maryland was pretty common in diet, believe it or not. In the regulars, definitely a lot more common or harder to find. Washington, a ton of Washingtons, definitely. South Carolina, there was way more South Carolinas than in diets, for sure. Mississippi, same thing. There was more in diet form. Minnesota, same thing, more of the diets. Indiana, about the same really. New Mexico. New Mexico was very common in both. Very common in both. We have Louisiana. Louisiana was pretty common in the diets. Maine Way more scarce in diet. I'm telling you, this was the only main bottle I found. Only one. Remember that. Virginia, pretty same. Nebraska, the same. It's funny how I remember all these too. It's because I've been doing nothing but collecting these for days. Arkansas, still scarce, harder to find in diet. Oregon, very common in both diet and regular. Pennsylvania, scarce in both. Alabama, there was definitely more diet Alabamas for sure. Kansas, very common in diet. Very common. Colorado, there was definitely more Colorado bottles of regular than diets. There was. Oklahoma, I think there was only one diet Oklahoma bottle I found. Pretty sure. South Dakota, or North Dakota, sorry. North Dakota, same. Wyoming, pretty common in diet. California, so easy to find. You could be blindfolded finding California bottles in diet or regular. You will find one. Delaware, pretty scarce. Still easy. Arizona, a ton, same as the regulars. Alaska, more scarce in the diets, I want to say, for Alaska. South Dakota, yeah, the Dakotas are pretty equally matched. Rhode Island, probably like 10. Probably found like 10 Rhode Islands. Vermont, pretty much the same as the regular. Missouri, definitely more common in diet. Saw a lot of those. New Jersey, the last bottle of my Mountain Dew diet set. Don't know why. It took a long time to find this bottle. Like the diet New Jersey. Idaho, way more common in the diets, even though they're pretty common regardless. West Virginia, like I said, the last bottle, got it twice. The last bottle, because that one was opened. Connecticut, just wanted to make sure I had the bottle, so I didn't care if it was open or not. New York was harder to find in diets. It's still hard regardless, but even harder in diets from my experience. Montana, a little bit harder in the diets. Nevada, like I said before, Nevada was way more common, my home state, way more common in the diets than regular for some reason. Utah, about the same. And our last bottle, Michigan. There was maybe like 5 of these I came across. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, if you guys are going to be collecting Mountain Dew, especially all these beautiful bottles, I hope this helps you guys on which ones are easier to find and which ones are not. Like I said, it depends on what state you live in, but this was my experience with Mountain Dew, collecting the Dewnited States bottles. Oh my God, guys, I can't wait to drink all this delicious Mountain Dew. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, if you liked the video, don't forget, give it a nice like. Don't forget to follow all my social medias down below in the video description. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button with that notification bell turned on so you don't miss a video uploaded by me, Tony Tornado. My name is Tony Tornado, and not only do I love Mountain Dew, but I love my subscribers.